Welcome to the Redirect Podcast. My name is Abigail Freshley.
And I'm Emily Rojas. The Redirect Podcast is a show where we shift the conversation back to books. We discuss themes from some of our favorite books and how those themes connect to our real lived experiences.
On today's episode, it's Pride Month, and we're doing a Pride book draft.
But before we get to that, we would love to humbly ask for you to support the show in a few simple ways. First, you can go on Apple Podcasts or on Spotify or both and leave a 5-star review letting us know how much you love the show.
You can also follow us on Instagram or Blue Sky at Redirect Podcast. And if you really, really love the show, you can share our show with a friend, because sharing our show with a friend is by far the best way to grow our community of book-loving nerds. And in fact, for 2 more weeks. So from the time that you hear this episode until the release of our next episode, what will the date of that be, Emily?
Oh,
Are you looking at the calendar?
Yes, I'm looking at the calendar. Our next episode after this will be July 8th. Oh, my mom's birthday.
So
happy birthday, Mom.
Happy birthday, Miss Kelly. So between now and July 8th, if you share one of our posts or like one of our episodes, tag us on Blue Sky or Instagram, and you have to be following us. You will enter a chance to win a $50 Thrift Books gift card. I have to say, the odds are in your favor. There's not that many people who have participated in our contest. So if you share our show, lock in, you can get an entry for each platform that you do it on. Sure. Yeah. Why not? Us.
I will say I do know this because I follow personally some people. And if you have a private account, even if you tag us, we don't see that if we don't follow you. So just DM us if you did that and let us know. Because
DM us.
I did see some of them and I made note, but if I don't follow you either, then we have no way to know.
Yeah.
So shoot us a DM.
Between now and July 8th.
Mm-hmm. And let us know.
Tag us and follow us. You know how far $50 goes on thrift books?
Oh, a lot.
You will be a rich person.
Yes, absolutely. Like, you could buy several books.
You can do some damage.
Yes. Several in the spiritual sense, like Jelinski from Survivor. Did you watch that season?
I did not.
Okay. There's a guy on Survivor who he was like I think the first or second person voted out that season, but he was fully convinced that like several means literally 7. So he was like I think it was season 47. So he's like season 40 several or something. And people were like, what are you talking about?
Okay, in his defense,
like that does track.
I actually think that's like when I don't like rigidly think that, but when someone says several, I think 6 or 7.
Yeah,
Sev.
Yeah. So, anyways, sorry, that's Survivor chat. But yeah, you could buy a lot of books. That's the moral of the story.
That is the moral of our tale. Okay. Well, much anticipated episode from us. I've been anticipating this episode since I knew we were going to do it. And that is our 2022. I mean, oh my God. I wish it was 2022. Oh my God. Can you imagine?
2022 is crazy. That's not even close.
I wish it was though. God, 2022. Anyways.
Do you? Because then you'd have to live through all this again, you know? Like it would still be in your future.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Anyways.
Okay.
Yeah.
The 2025 Pride Month LGBTQIA plus book draft. This is gonna be right in our freaking wheelhouse, baby.
I know. I was thinking the other day, if we ever made merch, we should have something said. I love gay books.
I love freaking gay books.
We do. So you're welcome. We're here to talk about them.
I just feel like members of the LGBTQ plus community really put their foot into like writing great works.
Yeah, totally.
And I'm excited to talk about it.
I as well am excited.
Since I think this actually might be kind of a competitive draft, I have kept my list private, as I see you have as well. And I think we should maybe take a more competitive approach to this episode. I have like a random like wheel name generator.
Ooh, yeah, okay.
See who goes first, and then we can do like there's a fly. Like a traditional snake draft. So whoever goes first, the next person gets to do 2.
Okay.
And I think we should pick. How many books total should we do?
Well, I could have a long list.
Maybe 8 total.
8 total. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Sure.
4.
Yeah.
So that gives them more competitive.
Yeah,
So 4
yeah.
each.
Okay.
Okay. So,
And then the listeners have to vote and tell us who wins.
I don't know like how to share this wheel with you. Would you just trust me?
I trust you. I trust you. You're a very honest competitor. So
that's true.
yeah.
Okay.
I trust you.
Spinning.
I'm kind of nervous.
Me too. Oh, okay. I'm going first.
Okay. That's fine.
Which is not what I wanted, actually.
Yeah.
I really wanted to go second.
I wanted you to go first.
Okay. So this, I'm not lying.
Yeah, I do know. I'm literally, you say I kept my list
so
private.
Nervous.
My list is just filtering my Storygraph read of all time by LGBTQIA plus genre. So, yeah, I wait.
One other rule. Are we including fan fiction in this?
Okay. I wasn't going to.
Okay. I did not have that on my list. Because here's why. Yeah. It's not that I think honestly some of the fan fiction I've read could these obliterate the other books in this list.
Period.
But I don't believe I don't want to rank those authors who are not getting any money for their work.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want to criticize them in any way. Also, I want to say we did crowdsource a bunch of our listeners or people in the book community through social media their favorite queer books. Mm-hmm. And you guys really showed up and showed out. And I think rather than there's so many, I don't want to go through each of them and ones that I haven't read before. Yeah. We will do an attachment or a post or something that has a list of all of the books that our listeners recommended.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Because there's a lot I haven't read and a lot I'd like to add to my TBR. So thank you, listeners. Yeah. And we will share those out on our socials.
Totally.
All right.
Okay. I'm nervous.
Me too. I'm actually really nervous. I'm looking at my list of books here.
I don't know what I'm going to pick.
Okay. All right. I am starting with... Hold on. Let me make sure I get all the specs about this book up before I start talking.
Oh, great idea. Yeah, I will.
I am starting with... Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller.
Yeah, totally.
This is such a basic answer. Yeah. But this book moved me. And it is a controversial book.
Totally.
Some people don't like it. I loved it. Mm-hmm. So this is a retelling of the story of Achilles and Patroclus. They were roommates and maybe more. Also, they weren't real people, but the speculation is so fun. So, this is a retelling of their relationship from childhood friends to their time during the Battle of Troy and the kind of relationship that they had together. In the Greek myth, Patroclus was a very loyal friend to Achilles and they had a very close relationship. But this book, just freaking moved me. Their love is so pure, so loyal. The ultimate friends to lovers childhood romance situation. And it's okay, great. If you already know what happens in this myth, that's fine. I think you would still get a lot of enjoyment out of this. I think about this a lot, and every single time I get a TikTok that comes across my For You page with the audio that's
yep.
I can't. What is it? It's
I would know him by feel alone or whatever.
By touch alone.
Alone, yeah. Oh my.
It is so moving. I don't know. Patroclus is one of my favorite fictional characters of all time, probably.
Yes.
And I feel like we both love this, so I wanted to go ahead and get out of the way before you could do it.
That's a great choice.
If it was on your list. I don't know.
I think I've been thinking a lot about how much I love when something is haunting the narrative in such a horrifying way, because this is a perfect example. If you know anything about Achilles at all, you know where it's going, and it's still that makes it even worse, because even the happy parts, even when they're together or they're just off, being little kids or growing up together, it still hurts so bad because you know what's going to happen in the end. And so, I love that.
Yeah. And it's just, I think because the benefit of reading a book where it ends in an element of tragedy. So spoiler alert, it ends in an element of tragedy. But you get to savor the love that people have while they're like, when their time is limited. Like, and really all of us are living on borrowed time. All of us have limited time. And so it kind of puts you into the mindset of like really cherishing the people in your own life. That's the way I think about it.
Totally.
I thought it was so good. And I love a historical beat, you know. I love that kind of thing. So loved it. That is my first choice in the draft.
That's an excellent first pick. You know something really funny too? The other day Eric came into my office and I had the Song of Achilles sitting out. Cause I was trying to do like a Instagram post, like Pride Month, like rainbow book stack, but I realized I have no green books, like not even non-LGBTQ. So anyways, I got halfway there. And anyways,
I don't think a lot of book covers, you know what? I'm looking at my bookshelf. I have one green book.
Yeah, like I have no green books. And anyways, so I got stumped with the greens, but the Song of Achilles was sitting out and Eric like read the cover or whatever and he's like, oh, so like fan fiction. Yeah, this is just published fan fiction.
It's published fanfic. And that's my favorite kind.
So,
you know what? That's it.
Slay. That's
my favorite kind of book. That's what it is. That's what it is.
That applies to many things. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Keep going. All right. Your turn.
Period. No. Okay. You could have said more.
So now you have 2 picks in a row.
I feel like
use them judiciously.
I feel like my first pick is like, you guys know.
Oh, I know. No, don't do it. Because I was going to maybe pick this one first. Oh.
It's The Pairing by Casey McQuiston. I have to pick something by Casey McQuiston. They are definitely one of my top authors, probably up there for sure, especially in the romance genre, but just in general. And The Pairing, like, we both love this book so much. I can't even, obviously we did a whole entire episode on it. I think I talked at length about it in a prior episode before that. So
right. So if you haven't listened to it, go
back and listen to our book club on The Pairing. But this follows Theo and Kit. Like, just the fact that even to this day, without glancing, I could have told you the names of these characters. That's how you know I liked it that much.
We forget characters 30 seconds after reading the book.
But I remember Theo and Kit, and I will never forget Theo and Kit.
They're imprinted into my mind. And also, I would just like to say
it.
Like, in my headcanon, Theo is so hot.
Correct. And so is Kit, frankly.
They're both so hot.
They're both incredibly hot.
Theo especially, I'm like...
Yeah.
They... Get it, they... Like, genuinely. Facts. I'm just like, they are probably so freaking hot.
Yeah. Yeah. Period.
Okay. I keep going.
Yeah, Theo and Kit, they're childhood best friends, which that is right there. That's all I need to hear. If you tell me you want me to read about childhood best friends, I'm sold. They're also exes. That's number 2. I love to read about exes. And they broke up 4 years ago. 4 years later, they both show up on this European food and wine tour. And they kind of like, you know, have this like intense chemistry between them. And they're like, hey, we're totally over each other, right? We can be friends, right? We should see who can hook up with the most people on this trip, which is a very normal and well-adjusted way to deal with a breakup that you're clearly not over. So they're going on this trip. The descriptions of food in this, like, I also can't get over that. Like, I have such vivid pictures in my mind.
They're like borderline pornographic.
They are. Like, it's like...
It's like I have to eat food right now because
right now. Yes. I'm Casey McQuiston hosted a dinner in New York that was like a food pairing with The Pairing, and that sounds insane to me. Like, I would have killed to be there probably, but anyways, they go on this tour. There's like a beautiful, really like funny cast of supporting characters that they meet along the way. They're just the food they're like I can't even talk about it. The key of this book to me too is that halfway through, like the first half, you're in Theo's POV and you're like,
oh my God, yes.
You're like, okay, Theo's still down bad for Kit, obviously, but Kit, I don't know, like he seems a little bit slutty. He seems like he's kind of like this charmed, aloof character. Like maybe he doesn't feel the same way about Theo. And then you switch to Kit's point of view and Kit is like so aggressively down bad for Theo,
like
still.
Worse,
like way worse. It is like, I remember reading that first chapter of Kit's perspective and it felt like I had just been like attacked person.
Yes. And then I think when I read it, I texted you as soon as we got the second POV, and I was like, they hit the second tower.
Ref, somebody stop.
Somebody stop him, Ref.
Okay, so yeah.
Red card.
Yeah, and I honestly get so mad. I take it personally offense, people who don't like this book. It like genuinely distresses me personally. I don't understand what's wrong with you if you don't like this book. So I have to pick it as my first choice because I know you would if I did. So this is my number one pick. Number one drafts. Yeah, I don't know sports terminology, but it's the pairing.
Okay. All right. Okay. I'm going to X that off my list.
Deep
All
breath.
right. Now you have a second one.
Okay. I think my second one, I'm sorry. I don't know if this is on your list, but I think I'm going to pick A Lady for a Duke by Alexis Hall.
Okay. That was not on my list.
Okay, good. Okay.
But I do like this book.
I just really like
Which
this.
I gave you. So
you gave me this book.
I also get props for this. I get a bonus point.
This one I don't remember their names, so I can't say it's at the same level as the pairing, but I'm going to click on it and I'm going to read it. Okay, so this is Viola. Viola was born male, and she was in a battle at Waterloo and presumed dead. And her best friend is the Duke of Gracewood, Justin. And he's devastated because he just lost his best friend. Years pass. Years go by, you know? And then they reconnect. So it's, again, childhood best friends. They reconnect. But now Viola is living as a woman, and the Duke does not recognize her. And they fall in love. And then, you know, of course, he eventually finds out that that's his friend. And it's like, I thought this was just so well done because, like, there's so many ways this could have been, like, cringy or like manipulative in a way of like maybe he would have felt betrayed, like you didn't tell me who you were, or like freaked out because like, oh my gosh, you were my best friend, you were lying to me. But it was none of that. Like the Duke reacted perfectly to everything, and I really liked that they like formed this really genuine love that was like independent of the friendship, like informed by the friendship, but he was like so clear, like, I love you as you are right now. And there wasn't anything between us when we were friends, but like, because now you are being yourself, I'm in love with like this person
yes.
I've met.
It's like, oh, you fully realize yourself. And it's like, yes.
And
like,
now that's what I love about you. Yeah.
It's like affirming in, yes, I totally I loved that too. It's like, oh, okay. Like, it's nice to meet you again. Like you who like, there's something intrinsic about your soul that's always going to be the same, but also like, yes, you make sense. And this is similar in the pairing.
Totally. Yeah.
Where like when Kit and Theo dated before, Kit identified as a woman.
Theo
identified as a woman. And then, like when they reconnect, Theo is non-binary.
Yeah.
And Kit's like, oh yeah, of course.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that makes so much sense. And it's so like easy to love you.
Totally.
And I'm so happy that you feel even more like yourself.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I feel like these two go together. That's why I kind of thought about picking them together because in both cases, like you're saying, Theo is bisexual. And so in the pairing, he's like, yes, like, Kit is bisexual, and he's like, Theo, you're everything like that I love. Like you have these like masculine parts of you, which I love, and you also have these like feminine parts of you, which I also love. And
yes,
like
relate.
I love you even more because you're like fully expressing who you are, you know?
Yes.
And so same with this. It's like, oh yeah, like of course, you know, the Duke says like, I loved you as a friend, but now that I see you for who you are, like there's a romantic love, and it's because you are who you are. And not like I'm putting up with something or like I'm settling, but like everything about you is what I love.
And it's so lovely. Also,
it's
like,
very lovely.
I mean, I think there's an element where you suspend disbelief a little bit and be like,
sure.
Oh, sure. The Duke of Gracewood in the like freaking 1800s is going to be totally like, oh,
yeah.
no prob. But also like maybe.
Yeah.
And
like,
also,
what do we know?
Like trans people have always existed. It's not like a new trend. Like this has literally always existed. It just didn't become part of mainstream media.
Totally.
Or it was, and it was erased. And so like
things are not recorded for a reason. And so
yes.
who knows?
Or
and
they're erased.
Yeah.
Or queer history is violently erased.
Yeah. And I've read several like historical, like even Bridgerton, you're like, okay, this is like, you do have to suspend your disbelief a little bit. Like, people weren't like this. But I did feel like this was like more so, okay, I could believe this. Like the way everything happens, I felt like was a little more believable than some, historical romances I've read where you do kind of have to be like, okay, I don't think this would work out so easily. And I feel like they had very real conversations in this that like were just nice. So it's a really good book. I loved it. Thank you for giving it to me.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, for the record, I will still read historical romances that make no sense. I'm currently reading The Wild Winchesters, which the basic concept of this series is it's like a foster family of like, it's a multiracial foster family who are like the orphans of like some weird baron, and they like weirdly like randomly all have a lot of money and they're all like weird and neurodivergent. Okay, this would never really work, but I'm here. Yeah. Some of you guys are queer. Let's do it. Anyways. All right. Now it's my turn to pick 2 books.
Okay, scary.
All right. Here We Go Again by Alison Cochrane.
Duh. Yes.
Duh. Period. We did a whole episode on this book, right?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. Okay.
It might have been lost to time. I actually think we recorded a book talk where we extensively talked about it. That was one of the ones that disappeared forever. But we did talk about it.
Okay, we've talked about this book a lot. Okay, this book is perfect in mi opinion. Big, heavy trigger warnings for grief, end of life care, homophobia. But also it's delightful and funny and cool and sweet. Like it contains multitudes. This is the story of 2 enemies who have like a weirdly close relationship with their high school English teacher, which is the gayest thing you could do. It's the gayest thing you could do. And like, whatever. So they are, they're English teachers at the end of life. He doesn't have children. He wants like his last thing is like, I want a road trip with you guys. I need you to drive me from like Oregon to Maine.
Pacific
Northwest to Maine to be at this cottage. Also, he's gay. And one of the main characters, do you remember their names are?
I have it right here.
What is it?
Hold on. It's like Katie or Logan and Rosemary. Not even close.
Okay, yeah. So Logan is like really out and like visibly is gay, is lesbian. And Rosemary is also a lesbian, but she kind of is just less, she's not really out there. She doesn't really date that much. She's I think maybe she realizes at some point that she's demisexual, meaning that like she really only forms romantic connections with people she has an emotional attachment to, so she doesn't really date around a lot. And that's one of the things about this book that I really loved, was showing different representations of what it's like to be queer. And you don't actually know if someone's queer. Yeah. And you can't just assume. And sometimes it's super clear and obvious, and sometimes it's not. And there's a multitude of reasons why someone might live that experience or may not live their queerness out loud, and that's okay. But they road trip across the country. I love a road trip book.
Road trip book.
There are lots of great Spotify playlists that accompany this book that like reference a lot of the music that they're listening to. And along the way, like there's a lot of emotional ups and downs, like dealing with the complexity of the health of the English teacher, like their blossoming romance, the fights, the tension, their trauma, their relationships with their families. And it ends in just like the most ridiculously beautiful way. I don't know how a book can be so like sad at points and so funny and heartwarming. But this is a perfect summer book, and it is one of my favorite romance books, period. Yeah. I know you love it too. Is there anything else you want to say about it?
Yeah, I just think Alison Cochrane in general, she does a really good job of showing characters who are complex. And like you said, in this one, I think Rosemary is demisexual, but like also Logan struggles. I think she has like ADHD or some kind of neurodivergence. A lot of her characters have some kind of disability or neurodivergence that they deal with in their lives. And I just like that because I think her characters, you know, make you a more empathetic person because she does just a really good job of like portraying different experiences and showing you that all those people can find love and deserve love. And so I think I love all of her books. And she has a new one coming out later this year. So it's a good time to dive into her back catalog.
Yes. Yeah, she wrote The Charm Offensive. She wrote A Kiss Her Once for Me, which is really a really fun Christmas book.
Really cute.
And OMG. Okay, yeah. Did you already say this?
That she has a book coming out. I didn't say what it's about.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry. I was looking for my next book on Goodreads while you were talking. It is a Camino book, which I can't wait for because I famously done the Camino as part of my lore. This is not the same. This is not the same route of the Camino de Santiago that I took, but I'm very excited.
I'm excited too because we definitely have to book club that one, so you can talk about your experience as well. So yeah, we'll be reading it for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Next, is this my last one?
Yes. No, not total, but for this round.
Okay, then I have one more, right?
You said we were doing 8 each. This is only your third pick.
I said
you meant 8 total. Oh my God, I thought 8 each. Okay, no, that makes more sense.
I mean, we've been recording for 30 minutes already. Yeah.
You're right. Oh my gosh, okay. Stressed.
So I have this one, and then...
So I only have... Wait, I have 2 more.
You have 2 more, and then I get the last pick.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, this works out well. All right.
Okay,
my next pick, unfortunately, this one might be on your list. Heartstopper by Alice Osman.
No, that was going to be my next one.
I'm so sad. But
no, that's a great pick.
I get dibs on this one since I read it first.
You did. To be fair. Yeah.
And you should have picked it sooner. I don't know what to say. Yeah, I mean, the Heartstopper series is a series of young adult graphic novels by Alice Osman. Or is it Osman? What do you think?
I always say Osman, but I don't know.
Alice Osman Osman. They are extremely talented graphic novelists who writes graphic novels about Nick and Charlie. You don't have to remind me of their names. They are emblazoned into my freaking brain. And there is a Netflix series following the first volume. I think it's totally worth a read. I mean, it's a graphic novel. It's not going to take you that long. The art is gorgeous and adds so much to the story. It's not just like... They do an incredible job of matching up the art to the tone of the novel and the character's development. The thing about this is that, like, it's young adult. It's like a representation for this queer group of friends in the UK. One of my complaints, we've said this on record and I'll say it again. I'm never learning what GCSE is and I'm never learning what A levels are.
I don't understand why Nick doesn't have to go to school for like an entire year. What is he doing? What do you mean?
What do you mean? I started watching the new season of Love Island and he said something about like, oh yeah, that was one of my GCSEs. I'm like,
what are you talking about?
Stop talking. I'm never going to learn what that is.
No.
Eagle screech. So anyway, there you have to suspend your disbelief a little bit here too, because all the parents are just like, yeah, we totally support you. And that is so wonderful, but it doesn't always happen. But on the other hand, it's so nice to read a series where it's about queer people, but not focusing on queer trauma.
Yeah.
And the conflicts that come up in Nick and Charlie's lives and in the other side characters are real. And they're very serious. Like there's discussion, I guess is also a trigger warning for like eating disorders, anxiety disorders, stuff like that. But they aren't inextricably linked to their queerness. They're just like things that they're dealing with in life. And they're also queer. And it's just really lovely to like tell a queer story without focusing on queer trauma. I love them so much. And I think there's one more volume coming out.
There is. I think it's currently being published online and then, it'll be released later. But Nick and Charlie, I'm obsessed with them. And I've said this multiple times, but I really wish I had read these books when I was in high school because there's just so much like about making you like an empathetic person. There's just like taking care of yourself, dealing with your mental health, helping your friends through traumatic things, like being a good person. I just think it's just a very cozy, comforting book that I think is a good, positive thing for young people to read.
Yeah.
And they're so good, you know?
These graphic novels have actually made me cry. Like, I've actually cried. I'm like, yeah, I didn't think that like drawings with captions could make me do that, but they did. It moved me to my core. Like it really did.
Totally.
So,
yeah. I've been microdosing the show. I've been like watching one episode a month or something. Because
it's too pure.
It's too pure.
It's just too pure. So
yeah. So, okay. Great
Love
pick.
them.
Yeah.
Okay. Your turn.
I thought you got one more. Oh, you picked two. Okay. No.
So then, you do two more and then I do my last one.
Oh my God. This is so hard. Okay.
It's hard because you took some of mine and vice versa.
And there's too many. Okay. But I'm going to pick one that I still think about and talk about all the time, which is The Celebrants by Stephen Rowley. This book.
Also one I recommended to you. God, yeah. I am brick for brick. I am just like killing. Okay, whatever. Not to make this about me, but all right.
I think, first of all, you have great book recommendations. Second of all, you know me so well that anytime you recommend me a book, I know that I'm going to like it. So
yeah, I know you. I only recommend you things I think you'll like. Anyways, keep going.
The Celebrants by Stephen Rowley follows a group of friends who agreed many, many years ago, decades ago, that when one of their friends passes away, they're at his funeral and they decide like, we're going to just do living funerals for each other. And whenever you need it, you can call your own funeral and we'll all show up at Big Sur. We're going to come together for like, a weekend or whatever, and we'll do your funeral. And it kind of starts as like a morbid joke at this funeral because they're like, this is so unfair. We didn't get to say any of these things before he passed away. Like, we should have told him while he was still here. And so they're like, well, let's just do it, But kind of time passes on. And then finally, one of them, I think Marielle is what I'm looking at. She is going through a divorce and she's like, I don't care if this is a joke. I want my funeral. And that's how it kind of starts. So they do them one by one until I'm going to cry. Until Jordan and Jordy, right? They're in the couple. One of them, I forget which one, is actually dying. And he's kind of forced to go through with this funeral. Like, he doesn't want to do it, but he goes and has to like tell them that he is for real dying. And they have to go through the process of throwing him this living funeral. It is like so incredibly moving. And the friends are all really like lovely, and it kind of jumps back in time. So you stay in the present with this final living funeral, but then it'll take you back and you'll get to see all of the other funerals that they've had for each of them and what's happened at all of them. And I think it's just like, it's a really nice, truly devastating look at having a close group of friends and growing up with them and the things you'll go through. Like, you'll have to go through life. If you want to be close with people, you have to go through these like hard things in life with them. And ultimately, one of them dying, which is horrible. So, anyways, I thought it was really good. I just like, I think about this all the time. I think there's something like really nice about telling people how you feel about them while they're still here. And that can be hard to do. And I like the ritual of them creating a method to do that. And I like watching their friends group change over time. And Stephen Rowley is like the go to me, especially writing about grief. He writes that really well. And this is no exception. This is my favorite book by him, though, I think.
Yeah.
It's so
He's
good.
definitely got range to be able to write like The Guncle and then also this. And then I haven't read The Editor by him, but I've read Lily and the Octopus. Yeah. And there's a couple other things too. But yeah, this one is
so good.
Yeah. And if you ever especially if you've been to Big Sur, you'll enjoy this book because you'll really be able to like visualize and experience the setting. So highly recommend.
I don't know what to
Your last pick.
Okay. I'm
How about this? After we do our picks, we can just rapid fire some honorable mentions if there's a few that you didn't get a chance to say.
Okay, you're right. I don't know. I feel like I'm so stumped, honestly. Okay. No, just lock in, Emily. You know what? Dare I? I think I'm going to pick Time to Shine by Rachel Reed. I have to throw a hockey romance in here.
It wouldn't be you if you didn't do that.
It wouldn't be mean if I didn't. Time to Shine was so good. We both like this book mutually, although we've differed on some of her other books. This was a 5-star, I think, for both of us, or at least 4 or something. This book was so good. It is her first standalone hockey romance after writing like a long series, and I think it is better than some of her others. This one follows Landon and Casey. Landon is like grumpy and Casey's like golden retriever, you know the tropes. But Landon gets called up to come play for a professional hockey team. Casey's like, hey, move in with me, like you need a place to live. And so they become roommates. And Casey's like, I hate being alone, I don't want to be by myself, please come keep me company. And so he moves in. They like kind of become friends over time. Casey wears Landon down and then they fall in love. But like obviously Landon, he's like only there to replace an injured player, I think. So he's kind of like, well, my time's about to be over. Like, I don't know, we can't start this relationship. I might have to move back across the country at any time. I just really like this. I think we both really liked it. I really liked the characters. I think to me, the hallmark of a good romance book is when I want to keep reading about the characters after they get together. Because I like love a slow burn, and that's often what keeps me hooked. And then I get to the end and they get together and I'm like, okay, I'm bored. Now I don't care about the stupid. That's why I'm anti-epilogue. I normally don't care if you guys got married. You're together. That's all. I cared about the lead up and then I'm like, okay, whatever. But these two, I was like, no, I would just read, like, if she wanted to write a day in their life or, like, their normal,
just like a little...
Yeah, domestic life. Yeah, I would love to read that. So that to me is like, yeah, that's a sign. Okay, this was a really good romance book because I just thought the characters were well developed. It's a little longer than some of her other books, so I feel like that gives more space for them to, like, really both individually be developed as people. I like how they both have their own like struggles. Like it wasn't all perfect. Casey is like really struggles a little bit with his like mental health, and obviously, like I said, he doesn't like to be alone. Landon too. He's like, I'm a loner. I don't have any friends. Like I'm just here to get through this. And so I like how they both like grow and change over the course of the story. And it was just really delightful. And I think if you're not as into hockey romance as me, this could be a good one for you to check out.
Yeah, they're like really complicated but lovable characters.
Yeah. Which I love a complicated character personally.
They both have their own stuff they got to work through as individuals. So,
and they do.
Reading about perfect people is boring.
I don't like it. I love an insufferable character, as you may or may not know. And so, like, I like complicated people. I don't want to read about people who always do the right thing and always make the right decision. Like, that's lame.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Your last one.
Are we still going to do some honorable mentions?
Yeah. We'll do honorable mentions because I have several.
All right.
It's really hard to pick the last one. There's about 12
it really is.
Yeah.
Okay, this could be recency bias, and maybe a controversial pick, but I'm picking Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid.
Okay, I saw you finish this and I did wonder if you were going to pick it, so tell me about it.
Okay, so this kind of book is made in a lab for me because it's historical fiction. Yeah. It's set in the 80s. It's during the time when women were first being recruited for the space program. It's in the era of Sally Ride, the first female astronaut to go to space. And it follows two women, Joan and Vanessa, who are in the the astronaut program and are vying for a chance to go to space. But the thing about this book is that the first chapter begins with kind of like a flash forward to like the big crisis of the book. Oh, like a horrible, crazy emergency in the winter of 1984, in which Vanessa is up in space and there's been an accident on the shuttle.
Oh my God.
And Joan is like the operations like person who's like Houston or navigator. Do you read? Whatever. And is like kind of commanding the whole thing. But you don't know the dynamics between these characters at this point. You don't know anything about their history or anything like that. So the first chapter is like, this horrible thing happens up in space. Some of the astronauts die. We're trying to keep a couple of them alive, and it's up to Vanessa to try and fix the shuttle so that it can come back into orbit.
Oh my gosh.
And like come back to California. Then it flips back to like when the two of them are entering the space program. It's told in third person, but it kind of switches perspective throughout. Also, I went back and forth from reading this and doing the audiobook. And the audiobook is narrated by my all-time favorite audiobook narrator, Julia Whalen.
Queen. Yeah.
Queen Julia Whalen. So she killed it. And yeah, I mean, like a lot of other Taylor Jenkins Reid books, it's extremely character driven. And we learn a lot about Vanessa and Joan and the things they're going through. Joan coming to terms with her sexuality and her identity. Like, also, this is like Soviet, like space race era. So, like, there's a lot of like PR restrictions and like image perception around astronauts. So we're already taking like a time where it wasn't generally safe to be out and like in public as a queer person in Texas, nonetheless. But like, we're also dealing with this public perception, this whole like NASA thing, and like trying to stay in the closet. And I would say I gave it 4.25 stars. It wasn't 5 for me. Like, I don't know if I'll be thinking about it forever, but I will say at the end, there was no epilogue. And I was really like, oh my God, I would kill. Like, I would kill to have like just a tiny little chapter from like, 2012 when marriage equality passed. Like, I was like, I just want to see like a little glimmer into the future for these like extremely brave and heroic, like beautiful lesbians.
You're making me cry. I've never even read this book. Okay.
So it was lovely. And also there's a really interesting, like plot line about Joan and her niece and her sister and like family dynamics. Again, Taylor Jenkins Reid is really good at writing family dynamics and group dynamics. So like the connections between all these people, their relationships, what's going on. So
she's really good at that.
Yeah, I was absolutely not disappointed by it. Would I rank it like as highly as like Daisy Jones? No. But
I mean, that's elite,
kind of like a once in a generation.
Totally.
So yeah, I would say like I'm going to bravely pick Atmosphere.
No, that's really good because I think I wanted to know if I should read it. So yeah, that's selfish by me.
I feel like also like the space element of it all was very well researched. It seemed to me, I mean, from what I could tell, I don't really know that much about space, but like the stuff about the shuttle and like the mechanics of it, what it takes to go to space, like what the training regimen would be like what the recruitment process would be like. This is all very well researched, and I appreciated that too.
Yeah.
Especially in a historical novel.
She's really good at that. Wow. We did it. That was so scary.
That was so scary. Okay. Do you want to rapid fire some of your honorable mentions?
Rapid fire. Okay. Okay. I would say, well, I really like Several People Are Typing. We both read this by Calvin Kasulke.
So cute. I love that
It's really short and cute. Extremely quick read. But it's really fun and tender. I recently read the Hockey Ever After series, which, okay, look, a lot of Kindle Unlimited hockey romance books are not good. I don't even count them on my Storygraph anymore, honestly, because so many of them are like, okay, I have actually read genuinely better fan fiction than this, but this series was really good. And I felt the same way about every single one of these books. I was like, I would read more of all of these characters. All of them were really good. So I think you should start at the beginning and read all of them if you're looking for a hockey romance. I've talked about this recently. This Is How It Always Is by Lori Frankel. That was such a good book. 10 out of 10. Recommend that one. The Charm Offensive by Alison Cochrane. That's one of my favorites. It's tough between Here We Go Again and that one, but I did like Here We Go Again, I think, a little better, which you picked. And I feel like that's I'm scrolling. Oh, if you had picked the pairing, I would have picked I Kiss Shara Wheeler by Casey McQuiston. It is a YA book, but I just think, it was really good, and I love a good book set in the South. So that was, I really recommend that, especially if you have a younger person in your life. Those are my rapid fires, I think. Oh, and Chain Gang All Stars. That was close to making the cut.
I still have that on hold. Let's see how much longer I have.
It's so good. But you have to be in the right headspace for that. I don't know. Like, it's tough. It's tough. So it's a sad one.
Let's see. How much longer do I have? 6 weeks.
Okay. Yeah. It's a good late summer read, so that would be good timing.
Okay.
So yeah, those are my rapid fires. What are yours that you didn't pick?
Okay. Art and Gwen Are Not in Love by Lex Croucher, which is a cute, like, arranged marriage, but both of them are gay. And they're like, wait, what? And it's like medieval. It's like, King Arthur type beat. Sure. Art and Gwen, like Arthur and Gwendolyn, or Guinevere, sorry. Arthur and Guinevere. It's cute. It's good, not great, in my opinion. But like, if you're into that kind of thing, I love gay books and I love historical fiction. So love this. Yeah, exactly. Like, that's why I was like, oh, I'm going to like it. So if you find yourself aligning with my tastes more than Emily's on this podcast, like, I would not recommend this to you, Emily. I don't think you would like it that much, but for me, like, I mean, I don't know. You're just not into like historical stuff as much as I am. I
know, but sometimes I'm like, am I? Anyways, keep going.
Well, I just think, like, you don't love Bridgerton.
Well, I didn't like that he was shoving her in closets and grabbing her so hard he left bruises on her arm.
That's true.
And shoving champagne down her throat against her will.
Not in like a deep end way.
No, not in a consensual way.
Anyways, okay, the next is Secrets We Kept by Laura Prescott.
Oh God, I should have picked that one. That one is a historical one I love.
This is a historical one. This is like Soviet era lesbian spies, CIA, really in the closet. Okay. Banger.
Stab me. Also, the other, there's 2 love stories in that, and the other one where she's like his mistress. That one, like, she's in jail. I think about that way too much. So that book is so good.
It is really good. And if you like that era, you'd like this book.
You can't go wrong.
And then I can't believe you didn't mention this one, but honorable mention, because it's just, I couldn't pick it because it's just too like well known. It's Red, White, Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston.
Well, yeah, but I already picked one by Casey McQuiston.
Yeah.
But I can't believe this whole thing on Casey McQuiston.
But I mean, obviously, okay. Yeah. And here's the thing I have to say about that book too. Like, there's a book to screen adaptation. It's fine.
Yeah.
Gay books deserve Hallmark level adaptations too.
Yes.
Like,
and that's what they got.
And they are lovable characters. It is extremely hope core.
Yes.
It's hard probably to read in 2025 being like, huh?
They flipped Texas blue.
But
maybe one day.
But if you're in the mood for something aspirational.
We just need a divorced woman president with a gay son.
A gay Latino son.
That would be great.
A gay Mexican son. Okay, sure.
I think he's bisexual, actually. So.
Okay, a bisexual Mexican son who gets together with the literal Prince of England.
I wish that would happen just for the gossip. This was I was talking to my friend Allie. Shout out Allie if you're listening. And I was like, honest to God, she sent me like a compilation of Pretty Little Liars moments where like it was so obvious that Ezra was freaking dating Arya. And I was like, I wish I had gone to that school because the gossip would have been so good. Because she's fully insane being like calling her teacher Ezra, getting mad in the middle of class. I wish I had gone to that school. That's how I feel about Red, White, Royal Blue. I wish I lived in that reality because can you imagine the TikTok edits?
Oh my God.
Which, okay, I've been on the record. I don't believe in TikTok editing real people who are not actually in a relationship. I feel like that's weird. But in this case, I would watch them. Any more honorable mentions from you?
No.
I think, well, we'll do a whole nother one when we do our fan fiction episode, our next one, because I could go on. I know. And I will.
Yeah. And I will. Okay. Before we wrap this thing up, with books we've read recently, which I really don't have much to contribute to that conversation because I'm in progress for several books and I just finished Atmosphere, which I just talked about. But I think we have to talk about the Allie Hazelwood.
Oh my God. We do have to talk about the Allie Hazelwood.
So, God, she keeps on coming up on our podcast, but this is actually insane. So
yeah,
you and I have been on record so many times being like, we are obviously huge Hunger Games fans. We are obviously Team PETA. We love PETA.
That's the only right answer. Correct.
Okay. At the LA Book Festival, Allie Hazelwood was on a panel and somebody asked her if she was Team PETA or Team Gale. And she was like, I'm Team Gale. PETA is useless.
Yeah.
Whatever. That's not a good opinion.
No.
But am I going to cyberbully a person I don't know for having a trash opinion about what is ultimately a fictional character?
No.
I am not going to do that.
We're not going to do that, babes.
Especially when there are actually authors out here who are doing problematic shit.
Thank you. That's the problem. That's my
and
biggest beef.
We are not cyberbullying them.
Because you know what? It's the same bleep me out. People. It's the same people who are like, can't wait to watch the Harry Potter adaptation on HBO, who are now cyberbullying. I guarantee you it's the same people who are cyberbullying Allie Hazelwood. Let's cyberbully. If we're going to cyberbully someone, let's cyberbully someone who is actively harming people, which
let's
is J.K.
cyberbully
Rowling. Like, or anyone.
Colleen Hoover.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm just like, this is ultimately, ultimately, she has a bad opinion.
Sure.
You know where we can talk about that on here. We can just be like, yeah, that was a stupid opinion. Ha ha ha. Anyways, I wish I didn't know that about her. She literally deactivated her Instagram because y'all were like death threatening. Like, not y'all. Our listeners wouldn't do this, I would hope. But like people on the internet were like death threatening her.
Which is crazy, by the way. I can't ever imagine death threatening anybody, even people who deserve to be canceled. Like, why are we threatening them with death? Just don't engage. If you have that big of a problem, just don't buy Allie Hazelwood's book. Unfollow her.
But also, again, this is
stupid.
An opinion about a fictional character in a book series.
It's also really scary because obviously we are not on Allie Hazelwood's level, but when you talk a lot and you're doing interviews or like you're just yapping, you say stuff that is dumb all the time. Like she probably didn't even, it was an offhanded remark. I'm sure she didn't put that much thought into it. And now she's getting cyberbullied off the internet. It's like, we gotta just relax a little bit because people just say stupid stuff sometimes. And if it's not actually harming anybody, like I think you can just calm down. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, what are we doing? What are we actually doing?
There's bigger problems.
Yeah. It is so crazy. Okay. So.
All right. Have you read anything recently that you'd like to share?
Okay. This is a work in progress. I was actually talking to you before I logged on, but I have to talk about it. And I'm scared by the next time we record, I'll read more. And, so this is The Great Believers by Rebecca Mackay. Okay. It's going to take me a second to explain the plot because it is a little complex, but stick with me. Okay. So it's split timelines. One timeline starts in 1985, and the main character in that timeline is Yale. And then there's a second timeline that starts in 2015. So it's in the future, a big time jump, and that character is Fiona. So back in 1985, Yale is I think he's in his late 20s, maybe early 30s. So he's a young man. He is openly gay in a relationship for several years, living in Chicago in the mid 80s at the sort of, I wouldn't say the height, but the ramping up of the AIDS epidemic. And he has been in a monogamous relationship for long enough that he doesn't have it and feels safe from that. But his friends are all dying around him, and it opens on him and Charlie, his partner, attending a funeral for their friend Nico. And it's not the real funeral. It's not with his family. It's not in the church, but it's the one organized by his partner. And Nico's sister, Fiona, is there. And then Fiona is, of course, who picks up our story in 2015. So in the past, Yale is, he works at a museum. He is trying, like, kind of his main driving plot is about him trying to convince this very, very elderly dying woman to bequeath the museum these paintings that she claims to have that were like painted for her by really famous artists and are worth like millions and millions of dollars now, and like previously unknown because they were just given to her because she was, you know, living in Paris and had all these artists, whatever. Okay, so that's him. Again, living through AIDS, like tragedy happening all around him. In the future, Fiona, who is Nico's sister, she is traveling to Paris because her daughter, who she hasn't spoken to in several years, because she joined a cult, and Fiona has reason to believe that she left the cult behind and has moved to Paris and may be in Paris. So she's going there to try to find her daughter. While she goes there, she's staying with one of Nico's friends, Richard Campo, who is a famous photographer who became famous partially and mainly because he took photos of men who were dying of AIDS, like on their deathbeds. And some of them he would like compare them to like when they were fully alive and well, and then have them side by side with them dying. And so now he's like famous and successful and living in Paris, and she goes to stay with him. And it's just like, you can see where the stories are going, but still the reveals that have been happening have like horribly devastated me. And also I think what's really, really interesting is having these stories told side by side. At first I was like, what is the point of these two completely separate stories? Like, they don't seem to go together. Obviously Fiona plays a part in the past and then she's in the future. Richard Campo, he's also in both timelines. Like, some of these characters overlap. But it's like really jarring to me how like the AIDS was like not that long ago. And because so many people did die who lived through it, it's like feels like a lost time period in some ways. And Fiona even has this moment where she's like recalling how people are always like, when she tells them like my brother died of AIDS or whatever, people will be like, oh, I remember that time. Like, it's this historical thing. And she's like, no, like that was all of my friends. Like, that was my brother and all of his friends who were all of my friends, and they're all dead now. And like, it's not, every time I, like, there's this really like horrifying moment, not horrifying, but like, I don't know what else to say, where she says like she has this practice of explaining the modern world to Nico. And she's like, when she walks through the airport, she'll be like, oh, like, you need a firewall for your cloud. And she's like mentally explaining that to him, and like all these things that have changed. And then she's like, when she's sitting with Richard, again, she's like, oh, he would understand this perfectly. Like, I'm with Richard, and like nothing here has to be explained to him. And just like, I don't know, Fiona's just a really compelling character. She talks a lot about like, what if she like took care of him a lot when he was kicked out by their family. And she's like, what if I hadn't taken care of him? Then he would have had to come back. He would have had to like pretend to be straight for a few more years to get through living with my parents. And he wouldn't have gotten AIDS, and he might have lived long enough to see a cure. And like, maybe I shouldn't have helped him. Maybe I should let him be homeless, and all these like regrets she has. And then in the past, like, you're seeing Yale like actually live through it, and his friends slowly being diagnosed one by one.
Wow.
It's like, it's really heavy, but it's also really just like very well written, very immersive. And I feel like I am towards the end, and I feel like I know where it's going and I'm like scared to get there, but it is just incredibly well written. And I think it really brings this period of history to life in a way that like is important. And so really good, really sad. So far.
Earlier in this podcast, we were talking about queer history being erased, and I feel like it's a big part of it. So
well, it's just you don't. It's like this book really does such a good job because of the time jump of like contextualizing things and making you realize like
juxtaposing the narrative now versus
them living
the
through it, right, and just like how horrible that would be for, you know, whole swaths of your friends to just die, and to get it and to know like there's no hope at that time, obviously. So like how horrifying that would be to not know how much longer you have left or anything like that, and all the logistics of it, like you know, if your family's not supportive, but then they get to make all of your end of life choices for you.
Oh God.
So it's just, yeah, it's very, very immersive, I think is the best way to do it. And the art plot is very interesting. The daughter plot is very interesting. I'm just like, how did she come up with all of this? Like, there's so many different little plot lines going on that it's very complex, but it all kind of connects together. So I think I really recommend it.
Great recommendation.
Thank you.
I love that.
Thank you. Okay.
I don't have any book to share right now since I just finished Atmosphere. I'm working on 2 other ones, and I will share out next time. But yeah, I really need to, I don't know. One of the books I'm working on right now is Pachinko by Min Jin Lee, which I'm like 10 years late to reading. Have you read it?
Yeah. No.
Okay. I'm like 10 years. It's really, really good. Yeah. It's long and like dense.
Yeah.
I need to, after Pachinko, I really need to read a couple like snappy ones because I need to catch up on my reading goal. So
yeah, I get that.
We'll see. All right. Don't forget, share one of our posts, tag us, or share one of our episodes, tag us. Make sure you're following us for a chance to win $50 Thrift Books gift card. Do it by July 8th.
Yeah.
An entry on Instagram or Blue Sky will work.
Or both. And DM us if you are private.
Yeah, DM us if you're private.
Okay.
All right, guys. Bye.